feel to be in the Western Conference Finals?
Amazing. Simple, amazing.
What does it say about this team that you guys have gotten to this point when very clearly nobody else, maybe outside your locker room, thought this was going to happen?
I think it describes our team, you know. I think we have amazing guys. Like I always say, this group is special. And I'm really proud to be part of this team.
What's different about this matchup and just their style of play?
I mean, it's different, you know. Obviously, they got Steph, Clay. Those two guys, you know, they are arguably the best shooters ever. So it's going to be really tough. But I think both teams are amazing teams. But they play differently, so we're going to have to, I think we play a little bit different than we play against Phoenix, especially defensively. But that's it. Both great teams.
Luka, at this point, teams throughout the playoffs have thrown totally different defenses at you, and you kind of had your way. Is there any defense that you don't like to face and you don't like to pick apart?
Even if we were, I wouldn't say it, because then everybody would play that defense. But for me, it's, you know, maybe I'll see a couple more double teams this series, but that's fine. We faced double teams the whole season. I think we play the best when they double team. You know, 4-on-3 basketball in NBA. You know, we have a lot of great players, so it's even easier for us.
I was going to ask too, what kind of matchups or how do you expect them to start off on you, and to kind of what are you expecting to face early?
No idea, honestly. But we're ready for everything, so I have no idea, honestly.
Luka, how important is pace in a series like this?
It's important. I always say the pace is important, especially they want to get out early. You know, Draymond pushes the ball very well. In 3 rebounds, he's out. So it's going to be really important, and especially defensively for us.
I mean, you talked about even around the draft time about your dream of playing in the NBA after winning in your basketball, winning in ACB. I mean, you're living this like right now at a very early stage of your career. What does that look like for you? Just be able to dream it and then now be able to live it.
I mean, honestly, I never expect to be here, so I'm living my best life. You know, this is the dream. I was worried, you know, after the Game 7. Before Game 7, no, I was saying this might be my last game of the NBA season, you know, but I wasn't ready. You know, I wanted to play basketball. So tomorrow, another basketball game that I will enjoy. I get to play at least 4. You never know. So I'm just happy to play in basketball, man. It's a pleasure for me.
After Game 7, you said you guys aren't. Nobody's going to get the smile off my face. I wonder how long you remained on that high, and is it a momentum you carry into this series, or is it something you kind of had to come down from, and now you've got to?
Every day, man. This life is great for me. I get to play basketball. Basketball is my job. You can't get. This is a pleasure. You know, everybody wants to have a job that they enjoy, and I enjoy very much my job. But obviously, when you win, the smile is even more. So winning is really a pleasure for me.
Dorian said he felt like you guys are kind of playing with house money, in the sense that people didn't expect you to get that to this point. How does that help you guys play loose, and then how do you kind of balance that with, you know, having an opportunity to compete for a championship game when you want to seize that?
I think we gotta go game by game. You know? Obviously, the championship is our goal. We gotta go game to game. We have to face the Warriors, who's been the best team in the league for like 10 years. So you have Steph, you have Clay, you have Draymond. They've been through everything. They've been through bad and the good, so they know what's about. So it's gonna be really tough. So I think we gotta go game by game and respect every game in their own way.
And you know, they obviously have championship experience in the NBA. You've won championships for Real Madrid, so the national team. How does your experience in those kind of games help you at this point?
I mean, I think it helps me a lot. I think a lot of people don't really think that it helps me because it's a different level of basketball. But I think it helps me a lot. You know, the same games, you gotta get ready for to win the game. You gotta put everything in it, and I think overseas success, you know, helped me a lot.
How would you explain, Luka, the job that Jason Kidd has done with this team?
Amazing, man. Since the day one, you know, obviously, like we always say, the start of the season we kind of struggled, but you know, it was the whole new country stuff. so we get to know each other, get to know every player, get to know every coach. So I think Jay has been doing a terrific job, and not just him. The whole coaching staff, I think, has been great for us.
Luka,
talked about how-
with Jason, how have you guys kind of established that trust to have like tough love, where he can kind of, not criticize you, but give you pointers and you can learn from him and kind of establish, that rapport too?
Yeah, he don't get mad at me a lot, so maybe he got to do some more. But maybe he's mad, but he won't tell me sometimes.
But sometimes he'll say, Luka needs to step it up on defense, or Luka needs to do something like that. How have you guys developed a relationship where you can have that honesty with each other?
That's fine with me. I think that's where you even more trust. I don't know. But honestly that's fine with me. He knows. Sometimes we talk. Not everything is gonna say in the media. But sometimes we talk and we tell each other things. But it's been great. It's been great to have him as a coach.
Because you've liked that tough love at different stops at Real Madrid or growing up too, right? You kind of have had the coaches like that.
Ex-Yugoslavia is always tough love. I think we learned as kids. We built that way.
Coming off the win in Phoenix, road crowd, what's your confidence level in dealing with this crowd here in Game 1?
It's a loud gym, I ain't gonna lie, I think this one in Utah, honestly, are two of the loudest gyms in the league. But the crowd always, it's sometimes even better to play away games for me, when you score the basket, everybody's quiet, everybody's booing and then everybody's quiet. But about crowd, I played in Europe, I played in Greece, I played in Serbia, I played in Turkey, and that's another level of crowd, so.
Luka, I know I
You were
always
very clearly relishing.
Yeah, it's loud. You can't hear the guy next to you, so that's a tough place to play.
You were very clearly relishing in that in Game 7. It looked like you were shooting some winks and some smiles at the Suns fans that were there in the front row and things along those lines. How much does that energize you in a moment like that, to be able to kind of play off of whether it's your opponent or the fans or both?
It's great, I know they were talking a lot. I think the Suns were talking a lot, so it was fun. It was fun for us. I think it was fun for everybody. But like I say, nobody believed that we're gonna win Game 7 there, and the way we won it was just incredible. I never seen performance like that from the whole team, from the coaching staff, from everybody. Everybody was just so locked in. It was unbelievable.
Speaking of talking a lot, I think it's fair to say Draymond's probably one of the best trash talkers in the league. You talked about how that fuels you. How much have you heard from Draymond, when you faced him in the past, and how much are you expecting to hear from him in this series?
I have so much respect for Draymond, man. As a guy, obviously Clay and Steph, incredible offensive guys. But I think the key to the Warriors team is Draymond. He's just unbelievable, and I really respect him. Everything he does, obviously no disrespect, but he's not the best offensive guy, but he impacts the game in every other category. So I really have a lot of respect for him.
That's not exactly trash talk.
You never hear me trash talk in the media. But obviously we're gonna have some words. That's the fun about the game. I love that part.
Luka, you've mentioned watching the Warriors championships a couple years ago when you were still in Spain or Slovenia. Are there any specific memories that stand out from, having that little bit of NBA experience that you're able to watch?
I didn't really watch it because, like I always said, these are 3 a.m., 4 a.m. games, especially in San Francisco. It's even 9 hours from my country's difference. So, but those guys, like I said, they've been through everything. They know what this is about, and they're a championship team.
Jason, I'm curious, so at this stage of your life, 49, flew into San Francisco yesterday, still get some butterflies, coming home? Do you get that feeling of coming home?
I don't think they're butterflies. It's always good to come home. A lot of great things happen here as a kid growing up in the Bay. So yeah, it's always good. They're not butterflies, but more excitement of seeing the Bay, and especially seeing San Francisco without clouds. It's always nice. Or the fall, I should say.
You
guys blitzed Steph pretty hard, doubled it, got it out of his hands the last matchup. Is that more difficult, now that they have Draymond back, maybe try to play cool more in those lineups?
Yeah, they're a talented team. If you give them one pitch, they're going to capitalize on it. Steph is one of the greatest to play the game. You got to just try to make it tough and tip your hat where he makes tough shots. But again, he's seen everything. Clay's seen everything. Draymond's seen everything. And they got a great coach and Steve, and so we just got to try to make it tough. And if they make shots, we got to try to make them work on the other end.
Jason, Luka's faced such different defenses from Utah, Phoenix, and whatnot these last few weeks. Do you get the sense at this point that he's kind of unguardable and it's like a pick-your-own-poison type of situation for the Warriors?
Yeah, I think he's gotten better coming back from that injury. And then, I think he goes at his pace. He's a willing passer. He trusts his teammates. And he's also able to post up or play on the perimeter. So it's a hard player to guard. And so, right now he's seeing the court at a high level. And we need him to see the court at a high level against a very talented defensive team. The Warriors.
Well, how do you expect them to kind of come out and start against them in terms of, can you take anything from the regular season or just take anything from their recent playoff run for how that might work?
They're going to throw deep. They're a team that will throw different defenses on the fly. They're very good at being able to change up their coverages without calling a timeout. And so for us, we have to recognize that and see that. And we believe our quarterback has seen a lot of these coverages, and he'll be able to recognize them, and hopefully we can connect the dots and knock down open shots.
Game 7 was such a high for you guys, really mind-boggling on how big the margin was. Is there concern about getting your guys' feet back on the ground, or do you feel like you're carrying the momentum from that into this series?
Yeah, that game is over. That series is over. This is a new series, but it's just basketball. So we're on a road trip, and we have 2 games here, and we got to take one at a time. I don't think there's any letdown or anyone's tired. It's basketball, and we got to be ready to play tomorrow. You
said several times throughout that series in Utah that nobody's picking us to win. But do you feel like the MAVS bandwagon has gotten a little heavier since Game 7?
No. Why would it get heavier?
Well, meaning that more people are jumping into the fact that MAVS are pretty good.
No, it's still light. And it should be light. Warriors are a really good team. You look at what they've done this season, and then with Steph and Clay and Draymond, they've seen it all. And they're on a mission to try to win a championship. And hopefully this is a good series where, again, we can find ourselves trying to find a way to win on the road.
You guys have always been so good at basically playing the one game at a time thing that you've preached. But do you get it, just watching them over the last couple of days, a sense of extra excitement from them, knowing that this is where they are, that this is a little bit bigger than just one basketball game in one series because you're trying to achieve a goal?
Yeah, I mean, they say there's too many media guys here asking them questions. They just want to play. They just want, that's what's special about this group is that it's about basketball. It's not talking to the media or doing anything on any of the media platforms. It's just basketball and they're having fun with it, and that's what makes this group special.
Every round of the playoffs, the stage gets bigger. The Warriors core group has been to the Western Conference Finals now 6 times. This is the first time for your group. How are you helping them navigate just the bigger stage? And does that experience that the Warriors have maybe give them a little bit of an edge?
Yeah, that's a great question. They do have their veteran group. They've seen it all. Luka's a little different. The stage has been, the world has been his stage, and he enjoys it. And as you guys will put it, the bigger it gets, the better he plays. So hopefully that's what happens for us. But again, we don't talk about the big stage. It's just we're on the road trying to figure out a way to win, and that's the way we've approached it.
because of the style that they can employ, how important is Maxey for what you guys do? How good is that for you in this postseason?
Yeah, everybody's important, but Maxey's important because he can guard multiple guys on the floor. And so, no different than the first series or this past series, Maxey's big for us, and offensively and defensively. So we're going to need him to play at a high level.
Jason, in playoffs, so many times possessions end up just being isolation situations. How comfortable are you with Luka in those situations, and what do you think makes him unique as an ISO threat?
Yeah, I think we're comfortable with him in the ISO situation just because he can do multiple things. He can shoot it, he can get to the rim, and then lastly he can find he can be a quarterback and find a receiver. So we're very comfortable with him having the ball in the ISO situation.
Steve Kerr talked a little bit today about facing you back in the day in his playing days. Do you remember facing him at all?
That's a great question. Yeah, I remember facing Steve. He had Michael Jordan.
You remember facing MJ a little bit more than Steve?
Steve always made the big shots. Steve was a great competitor, a great NBA player. He doesn't get his just due. He played his role at a high level, and he won. He's a winner, and that's what makes Steve special.
He also mentioned that what makes you different is that generally former players who become head coaches are kind of the role player type, but you are the rare Hall of Fame, top 15 player, whatever, who's done this. Why do you think you're sitting here right now? Why, after a big Hall of Fame playing career, did you want to go into coaching?
Great question. I love the chess aspect of the game. I love the mental aspect of the game. I love helping the players achieve their goals financially or winning, and that's what makes the game fun for me. Being a coach, that's how I see it. As a player, I play to win, and as a coach, we play to win. Your impact is a little bit less, but you're here to help guide the guys to achieve their goal.
What are some of the coaching principles that you got 30 years ago when you were back here in the Bay under Frank McCourt and just say you grew up learning?
Oh yeah, well, Frank was great. I don't know if his coaching style will work today, but but he's one of the all-time best coaches that I've ever had the opportunity to play for. But his style wouldn't work today. But he was a great father figure to me in high school, and helped me, achieve my goals by playing me at point guard, coming out of the 8th grade, and seeing that vision of as a point guard. So, but I can't take anything he did because I wouldn't be sitting here.
Jason, a lot of your players have talked about the attention to detail defensively for this group overall. How do you promote a culture where that stuff matters, where you're drilling in on the smallest defensive details?
Yeah, well, we talk about it, and they trust, and this is what makes this group special, is they trust everyone who speaks in front of the group, if it's a coach or player. We all respect what the person's saying, but it's the details that help you win as you move forward in the playoffs. The littlest thing can help get a turnover or a rebound or a steal. So I think it's just this group has paid attention. This group has grown, and we talked about it day one, playing defense.
Dorian, let's flip it around for a second. If you were the Warriors and you had to guard Luka at this point, seeing that whatever people have thrown at him so far has not really worked, is he unguardable at this point? Like, how would you even go about that?
He done seen everything too, and I feel like they're gonna switch the defenses up to give him something tricky or give him something different every possession, because that's what you got to do against great players. So we expect some trickery. We expect them to guard him, multiple ways, but we're gonna be prepared for either way.
Do you feel as if you're still an underdog?
We like being the underdog, so keep us as the underdogs, and and y'all predictions. We don't really watch it. It just fuels us.
Dorian, how would you describe the job that Jason Kidd has done with this team?
Coach did a good job, man, of getting everybody to buy in. He'd been here before, so he was the only person in the locker room who's been in this situation, been to the second round. So we kind of like just follow his lead. He always got a cool, calm, collected, attitude, and I think we take that from him.
How different is guarding them, the Warriors, compared to really any other team in the league?
Just how fast they play, so random. They play a lot of random basketball, so you just got to know player personnel and go from there.
When they go small, put Poole on the court with Clay, which they're doing way more in the playoffs than they did in the regular season, how does that change, I guess, like the attention you can throw at Steph or not throw at Steph?
It put another another shooter on the floor. So, like I said, you just gotta the details and knowing what guys can do and what they want to do. We just gotta pay attention to keying on that because they got great players, and when they go small, they got Draymond quarterbacking and shooters everywhere.
You guys have not been a real big forcing turnover team, but you were able to do that against Phoenix, and these guys will throw the ball away. How important is it for you to be able to not only force the turnovers, but then convert off the turnovers like you did in the last series?
We just got to play with high hands, try to be more disruptive, make it hard for them. Because like I said, they play so random and so fast. They probably have a couple plays, but the rest of it just be, throw the ball to Draymond, and they play out of, pin downs and back screens, back cuts. So we just got to key in on that and stick together, be on the rope on defense, because it's going to take multiple scrambles just because they got so many shooters in the game.
I was kind of joking about the, head in the clouds or whatever, but what did you do after Game 7?
We just kicked it, man. We kicked it a little bit, got dinner, and enjoyed it. But we watched film as soon as we got in yesterday to turn the page. Because like I said, we ain't trying to do something special here. We here, so we might as well win it.
You pointed to the March 3 game against those guys, what you guys did with Steph in the fourth quarter. How much do you feel like taking the ball out of his hands and making the other guys beat you is something that needs to happen?
We're going to throw a lot of different coverages at Steph. Like I said, it's probably the same thing they're going to do to Luka. They're great players. You can't keep giving great players the same look. So, it's probably going to be me or Reggie on him. And he's going to get switches where he's going to have Luka and JB on him too. So everybody just have to be keyed in. Know our coverage and know what we're doing. I'm pretty sure Coach is going to cook up something nice for us to do, and we just got to execute it.
Do you guys really think you can be called an underdog? You guys beat the most of us
I don't make the calls, I ain't pick us to lose. That's their fault. I wouldn't call us underdogs, but I feel like we play against everybody, well this year. Even though the Suns beat us this season, I feel like we played them well in the regular season. So, and the same thing goes for this team. So, but they just got the championship pedigree in them because they've been here before. They done seen everything. So, it's gonna take all of us being together like we've been all year.
Maybe the flip side of that, how much confidence comes from knowing that you just beat what was allegedly the best team in basketball during the regular season, 4 out of 5 games?
We already had the confidence, but we here. Don't nobody, think we was gonna be here. So we kind of playing with the church's money. We should be playing with, nothing to lose. Cause, like I said, everybody don't, they had us not been, in the Western Conference Final.
Do your kids get the significance of how far you guys have gone and what this means to
my daughter do, but my son, he 5. He ain't paying attention to he ain't paying attention to the game. He care about Mungus and Roblox and all that stuff.
Dodo, can you speak about Reggie Bullock, his story, and what he's gone through personally, and how you've been able to get to know him during this time?
Yeah, I just met Reggie this year, but getting to talk to him and hearing about his family and stuff like that. I lost a family member too, so we talked about that, and it kind of made us closer, on and off the court. But having a guy like that on the court, who similar to me, don't care about nothing but winning, it feels good.
He's up the Jabbar Social Justice Award.
Yeah, I think he should get it. I think he should get it. It's not even close. It's not even close. Get it to my dog. He deserves it. He's real passionate about it too. So.
When you say he's passionate about it, what have you learned from it at all in your thoughts?
Just support. Support people in their choices. Really. You never know what people going through at the end of the day. So, the people that are always helping everybody else and making sure everybody else straight sometimes need to be checked on.
Feel like you guys are playing with house money now here in the Western Conference Finals?
I think so, because all them guys like Tim, they picked up the lose, so we just have fun with it though. It's been fun though. The whole journey been fun, and we're excited for this battle. It's gonna be a great battle.
Though I have explained this repeatedly. I changed my prediction at halftime.
Okay.
So I ended up being right. So I don't want to hear any more about the prediction.
We was up 30 then.
Okay. I needed a little hint.
All right. No, it's all fun. It's all fun. We love to compete. Everybody love being around each other. So it's gonna be a fun.
Had you guys circulated those screenshots, like the ESPN pics that I saw on Instagram, way before then?
We waiting on the next ones too.